Welcome back to Enshrouded. In the last video, I built this cozy little hobbit house here behind me. And do be sure to check out that video if you haven't already. I'll leave a link for it in the description. But in that video, I mentioned that I was going to do a part 2 where I would build another house on top of it. And that's what we'll be doing today. So you can see I've already started working on just a foundation, and I'll go over the details here soon. But the plan for this is to do a fantasy forest build with a big tower here in the middle, with a little tiny tower off to the right of it, and then sort of like a little medieval house with a pointy roof to the left of it. So just something super cozy and cute to sort of match the vibe, not feel too big, but yeah, it could be a cool spot for the new NPC, maybe an alchemist tower, something like that. But without further ado, get cozy and let's jump into the video. So for this foundation here, as I mentioned in the Hobbit house video, I left this top little section blank and I did these stairs that came up out of the Hobbit house, and those are going on to the first level essentially of the house above it. So rather than doing the 2 blocks worth of terrain on top, I've just used the roof of the Hobbit house essentially as the first floor of this building. And then for the layout of the foundation here, I'm using the limestone blocks, and I'll go over essentially the plan here. What I've done is I have a pillar here in the corner, and this basically starts right on the corner of where that staircase was from last video. So that goes up, and then these are just 8 blocks tall, essentially these big blueprints here. So I have a pillar in each of these corners. That's just 2 of these little pillars stacked on top of each other. And then these little walls here in between the pillars. And these 2 end ones are 8 blocks tall by 9 blocks wide. So an odd number of blocks wide. And you'll see where that comes into play later in the video. So that one and that one are 9 blocks wide. And then this front wall and this back wall are 18 blocks wide in between these 2 pillars. So essentially that's what it's like on the inside. And then on the outside here, I just have the terrain going right up to it. And to make things a little easier, I'm going to go ahead and block in a doorway here. I'm just going to go in by 3 blocks from the edge there, and then 2 blocks up from the bottom. And we'll just go ahead and block in a 4 block wide, 5 block high standard doorway. And that's how we'll get into this house. Obviously, you can get into here from the Hobbit house, but it'll also have its own little doorway here with a little yard right up here on top of the Hobbit hole. And so maybe some little stairs or a little pathway kind of coming down over here. So that's the main foundation layout. You can see the floating flame altar in the sky from last episode. You will learn the placement of this flame altar very soon as we start building up to it. So with this little foundation piece in place, I'm going to now start working on building the floor for the little pointy roof house that's going to go off to the left of this build here. And for that, I think I'm going to go ahead and destroy the very top rim, only halfway though. So as you can see, the blueprint for this section here, you can see I've got 2 of these bigger blueprints and then a single little block on both sides of them. So it looks like 2 blocks in from the side. I'm going to do something like this. Just destroying this very top layer of blocks. And I basically want to bring it around to the same level as what I have over there. So I think that's right here. Something like that. Let me just make sure that that kind of goes through that. Yep, right there. So right up to this second little blueprint piece there. So something just like that. And then I'm going to take the floor for the medieval pointy roof house over here and make it out of the half-timbered block. I'm going to go ahead and turn snapping off, and I'm going to sit it right down in that groove. And I'm going to bring it 1, 2, 3, and 4, and place it right like that. And then I can turn snapping back on. And we're going to go ahead and, just didn't want it quite there. On one to be there, I want it to be 1.5 blocks wide. And then by 2 blocks deep, and then an extra little 2 blocks off the back side there, so that it'll overlap our little foundation by 1 block on the back, and then 1 block on the side, and then 4 blocks on the very front section here. So that's going to be the outline for that. Now I want to continue the little foundation up a little bit higher, and we're going to start creating the tower outline over here. By using the limestone again, I'm going to go ahead and turn the snapping off here, and I want to put one right here, and one right there, and build those up by 8 blocks tall, and same thing over here. I want to put just one there in this case. Then go to my blueprint here for the wide wall. Go ahead and rotate it, and place it right there. And whoops, I placed this one slightly too far out. So let's go ahead and bring that one. There we go. Perfect. So something just like that. And then I'm going to continue all of these side sections up essentially by that same height here. So let's go ahead and continue those up another 8 blocks. And you can see I'll just put like 1 on the edge here because it's 9 blocks wide. And then one of these guys right there. And that's essentially the tower outline here. So we can go ahead and rotate that. Put one right there. Then go to my little column here and go ahead and stack these ones up. So one there. And one on the side here. And one right here. Something like that. And then one more of these big pieces right along the back side there. Just like so. So that's going to be the outline for our tower here off to the side. This will be like the main portion of the build that is pretty centered on the Hobbit hole essentially there. And because it's an odd number, our flame altar is slightly offset. It's slightly, this is the placement of the flame altar now, just for those of you wondering. And maybe you placed your flame altar somewhere or whatever, but you can move it up to here essentially, to where we've got a little 1 block gap on these sides and a 2 block gap on these sides. And the reason it's an odd number, which definitely got to me, it was hard to accept that it was an odd number, but I want to do a pointy roof, a pointy round roof on the top of this tower. And I did some designs and I liked the odd number better, just the way it looked, and you'll see that later in the build as well. So now that we have this done, I'm debating what I want to do for the floor in this tower. I'm thinking that for now, I'm just going to go ahead and fill it in with some single blocks here and just select them out of the rough stone. This will kind of match the exact floor that I had for my Hobbit hole, and it'll match the color of the flame altar to make it look a little less weird and offset and everything. I'll just go ahead and fill in around here so I don't fall in here all the time when I'm climbing up here. And there we go. It'll look something like that for now, and I may change out blocks for a different type of block later on in the video. This is kind of just one of those videos where I'm gonna go with the flow and see how things turn out and possibly replace things as I go. So I'll just let you know if I end up like changing the floor blocks or something else like that. But that's our rough outline as far as that goes. Now I want to work on these stairs a little. First, I want to actually cut this section back. Something like that. Yeah, something like that for now. And maybe even like that. Yeah, so that it kind of has like a little bit of a curve to it and it doesn't feel quite as cramped along the wall here. And I'm thinking down under the flame altar here, I'm going to have a high ceiling. And this is going to be a library or something like that with tall bookshelves and things, and maybe a chandelier coming down from up there. But then for the stairs to go up, I want to do stairs to the next level here. So I'm going to go ahead and take my little 2x2 wall blocks, and we're just going to block out a section for those stairs to go. So let's see here. Let's go do something like this. Essentially just 3 wide, so like 2 little, 3 little squares of 3 blocks each kind of a thing. It'll make sense here soon. I'm gonna do, for the stairs, I'm gonna do, I think, the half-timbered block. again, this might be something I end up changing. And I'm gonna back it one block kind of over, just like that. Go ahead and rotate it. And something just like that. I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, then we kind of turn the corner and come up here. I think that'll work out. And then I want to go back to the little single block here. And right on the back side, I want to place something like that. Like 2 out, maybe. And then maybe like 2 or 3 of them there. So I can do the same thing right here. I can destroy all of these guys. So you can kind of just come around the corner nice and smooth here. Actually, one more block right there. Yeah, there we go. Just so you can kind of come around nice and smooth and it doesn't feel too cramped right here to where it kind of turns around. You can get out into the main floor of the house here. And then I might do like a little post out of the new red marble block. I'm going to experiment with using this block here a little bit. I'm going to do 2 of them high just like that. Just kind of for a post here. And we'll go ahead and maybe just add 1 more there for reference. And we can replace this middle piece with that as well. I think there I'm going to keep it the half timbered there at the bottom. And then to trim out sort of these jaggedy edges, for now anyway, again, I might use a different kind of block, but I'm just going to use some of the stone pieces there. So now we wind up here, and I'm going to go ahead and do another one on top of it to get up to the level of the flame altar there. So let me go ahead and rotate that, and essentially just back it in like that, and then rotate it again. And let's see here. I think like that. Oops. Not quite. This might be a little difficult. Let me zoom into my character here just a little bit. That's more like it. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to take the single block here and just destroy the edges because I want these to only be 3 blocks wide and not 4 blocks wide. So I'll go ahead and destroy the back edge here as well. Something like that. And then fill in right there. And then same thing on the bottom section here. I forgot to fill in that little corner piece. And then we'll just go ahead and trim out the little rough bottom edge there. Something like that. That's pretty good. Pretty good for now. Now we're essentially on the top level here. And I'll go ahead and just continue up a little floor and do something very similar to what I did on the other level, to where we'll have like this little section here. It'll kind of wrap around. So I want it to be actually more like that. I'm gonna come out 1 more block on this side, and then over something like that. There we go. And then that will be my floor level right there. I'm gonna go ahead now with the column and just bring my little red marble pillar all the way up, just like that. Cool, so now we have a windy staircase, essentially. It's small, but not too small. We can fit in here very comfortably. That goes all the way down into the Hobbit hole and goes up to each level. Just have a nice, easy way of getting up to things. I think I'm going to have a chimney right in this section, a little fireplace. And then these stairs, yeah, this could be like a little dining area or something, or maybe even a little doorway out onto a deck up here. We'll wind up here, and this will go into the loft of the house, as well as go into the tower here. And then we'll pass through, so this is where we'll spawn in on the flame altar. And we can pass through, walk around here, and go into the small tower. And the small tower over here is going to have a little staircase winding up through it to get to the other levels of this big tower. So it'll be a funky build, but I'm just gonna have fun with it, and we'll see how it turns out. So with that, I'm gonna do the walls of this build now. And for that, I think I'm gonna start and do a red marble column on each of the corners here. Let's do something like that. And let's see, I'm gonna make it 7 blocks high instead of 8 blocks high. I think that'll be good. Something like that for now. Yeah, just to have some corners to the build a little bit. And we'll add 2 on the back side here. Let's see. 1 right over here. Right there, and then 7 blocks tall. And 1 right over here. Perfect. That'll work out. And now for the walls of the build here. We've got some corners there. And for the walls, I wanted to just go with, let's see, maybe this narrow wall piece for over in this section. Rotate it, and I want these to be out of the half-timbered. And I want them to be basically 1 block in from these pillars. Don't know how it's going to look yet, but I have a feeling it could look cool. So I'll just go ahead and rotate that. Again, only 7 blocks tall. And let's bring it in by 1 block like that. Go ahead and rotate it. And let's see here. Something like, there, and then 1 more forward, like that. And then 1 more along the back side here, like that. Perfect, okay. I know it's a little finicky to see. We could even do it from down here. This might make things a little easier. So I'll do like that, and then, let's see, 1 more little touch up from the inside. It'll make this house portion very small. Again, the majority of the house for this is in the Hobbit hole below. I don't want this house to look too big on top of it, just to keep proportions looking nice. But I think that looks kind of cool, just to have sort of this little rim around it. And it'll kind of come out up top as well. So let's see, just that very back section we could go ahead and fill in with a column here. Let's see, let me go and zoom into my character some more. Let's go ahead with the column and sit it down right there. And right there. That's perfect. Okay, let me go ahead and sleep so it's day again, and then we'll continue the build. Okay, it's daytime now, and I'm just going to go ahead and block out a little opening for a chimney over here and fireplace. So let's go in by 3 blocks from the edge there, and just block it out to be like 4 blocks wide, 4 blocks high, something like that. It's going to be a super small room, and I may end up bringing the walls all the way out another block, but just to add some funky texture, make it look kind of cool, I figured that'd be nice. And then I might leave these little gaps here, but I might also go ahead and fill them in. I'm not quite sure just yet. But something I wanted to do was bring a chest. Let's see here. I wanted to go in maybe something like this. Maybe this little stretch right here. We could do 3 little chests side by side for some storage, since we have this space kind of in between the flame altar and the wall there. So I'll just block that out for a little storage, and then this will either be a door or a window, which I'm not quite sure about. So until I decide, let me just continue everything up over here. So to do the next floor, I'm gonna go with the half-timbered block, and I want it to be right here, basically right above that. And I wanted to go, let's see, and turn on snapping now again. And we'll do something like that. And then this last little bit, let's see, let me go to the 2-meter ceiling section here. And then just place this one block by block. Make it a little easier there. All the way over to this little pillar here. So something like that, and then let's go ahead and fill in here, and then destroy these to give us some space to get down the stairs. I want that to be destroyed there, and I wanted 1 and 2, and yeah, let's go with the 3rd one there. Something like that. That looks pretty good. And this will be a little loft. This will probably be the bedroom of the build. There will be a pointy, very steep roof on this, so I'll have plenty of headspace up here. And now, honestly, I'm going to continue up the tower a little bit more. So let me go to my columns here, select it to be out of the limestone. Let's go and turn X off. And this is where I want to taper in here. So I want to go like here, here, and then, yeah. So basically like 2 on the insides here. Oops, I want it to go up here. There we go. And then I'll still go like out even to the outside. And with that, I'll just take, let's see, yeah, the narrow wall piece. This will work. And let's see, pull it back into the build here. Grab the column again, put one there, and then one there. Oops. Sometimes it gets a little finicky, but there we go. There and there. And then take the narrow wall piece and place them like that. There we go. And rotate it out. And place one there. And one there. Yeah, something like that. There we go. And then I'll just continue all these little corner columns up a little higher. And this is going to be a little doorway into the tower here. So I was debating leaving it entirely open here, and I still might, or I might kind of narrow in this this little entrance here. So we'll see. I think I might bring it in just a little bit, something like this here. Yeah, there we go. This will be nice. And I like the flame altar being up high. The other cool thing about this build is I wanted to challenge myself to fit the entire thing within a level 1 flame altar. Hobbit house and everything. Everything within a level 1. I can obviously upgrade it if I want to add more landscaping and things. And there's obviously no need to have to do it in a level 1 flame altar. It's just sometimes fun to set a bit of a challenge for myself. Like, how good could I make a build in a level 1 flame altar? And so I'm putting the flame altar up higher rather than having it be like on this level right here, just so that I can have that extra height in the flame altar boundary in case I want to go taller with this tower here. So yeah, something like that. I like that a lot. It kind of tapers in right there. So that looks good. And now we could probably start working on the steep roof for this house section right here. So I've now got the pointy roof outlined, and I've got plenty of videos on my channel with pointy roofs, as well as a dedicated tutorial on how to build pointy roofs, in case you're wondering how to do this sort of stepped look to make it twice as steep as the 45-degree angle. And I'm doing the outline with the straw roof block to have sort of this light trim, basically by 2 blocks. And then I'm going to take the plant fiber roof block in the middle section here and fill in with this all the way back. It's going to do like a little bit of flashy textures here just initially, but it's going to mesh in nicely. So I'm going to do that all the way over here. Something like that. And basically just continue the plant fiber roof block all the way back, and then the last 2 blocks here, basically just overlapping the edge by 1, will be the straw roof block. And then I'm just going to basically build around this tower section. So I'm just going to do the roof up to here and sort of just ignore this section right in here. So here we go. I've now come all the way out to the other side here, and I've just saved room for basically 2 blocks worth of the straw roof block now. So we'll just go ahead and continue with this. Another thing that always makes this easier that I mention in my tutorials as well is to turn the voxel detail models off. That way you can just see a lot easier where you're placing things, because it won't be making all of the weird straw textures and everything. So there's 1 layer, and then just 1 more here. So I'm really used to this, so that's why I'm kind of going a little quick here. And I can see basically where I'm placing things. And if it's messing up or not. So let's see here. I think we need one more. Something is not right on the edge here. So let's go ahead and delete a few of those. I want it right there, and then 1, 2. There we go, perfect. All right, and there is my pointy roof right here with the straw roof to sort of trim it out, and then the plant fiber roof in the middle there. And then for the very edges, I'm gonna go ahead and trim it out with the tarred shingle roof block. This always just makes things look really nice. So just basically skipping every other one. We're gonna go ahead and place one of these pieces. It creates that cool looking texture, which I'll show you here shortly in the front. Something just like that along the rim there. So we'll just do that to both sides up front there, and then both sides in the back. So that was along that side. We'll go ahead down this side here. Yep, right there. All right, and then boom, 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 just like that. And check that out. I know it's a little hard to see right here, but looks kind of cool. Creates a really nice little trim effect, so we'll do that along the back here. And there we go. It is nicely trimmed out on the front there, as well as the back here. And that's how our little house is looking so far. And then I also want to just go ahead and fill in both of the ends here with the flintstone block here. Let's see, yeah, the rough flintstone. So I'll just kind of go ahead and fill these in. I think it'll look really good. It'll also match some of the block palette in the Hobbit house. So I'm using some very foresty materials here to make it look nice and also contrasty based on the color palette that I'm using. And there we go. This front side is filled in, and I've just cut out a little window there. I'll do the same thing on the back side here. 2 blocks up from the bottom and just 3 blocks tall here. And on the inside here as well, I've just gone ahead and basically trimmed out a little 4 block wide by 5 block tall opening here. And that is centered on the flame altar rather than on the tower itself here. And I'm going to go ahead and do something similar on the other side right here. This will be the opening that goes into the small tower. So I'll just go ahead and do something. Let's see here. Actually, I want it to be up just by 1 block higher. Something like that right there. There we go. Like that, and then 5 blocks high, and this is going to go into the small tower there. So we'll just have a nice little room to spawn in here, go into the loft here. This might be a little bedroom in here, and then we can head to the small tower that'll have the staircase to get to the next level of this larger tower here. And that'll probably be the final level of this larger tower before I start the pointy roof. But yeah, this is how things are looking from down below right now. And once I trim everything out, get some windows blocked in and everything, I think it's gonna start looking really cozy and cute up there. So now I'm gonna start working on the little tower over here. So what I've done is just added essentially a little 2 block wide gap in between the big tower and the base for where the little tower is gonna start. And this is a 9 block by 9 block square, with the center block being centered with this tower right here. So yeah, we kind of go through here, go through this little opening onto this square, and then I'm just going to round the corners of it here. Maybe something like that, and then continue these up with these pillars here. All the way around. And yeah, it can be a little easier to zoom all the way in, bring the blueprint as close to me as I can. Be something like that. And then for these middle sections, I could also just take this piece here And let's see, do something like this. Right there. And then this section I could close off, or I could even put a little railing right here, which I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a little railing or something. So for this, I'm going to continue this up, again, to the 8 blocks tall. So we'll go ahead and continue stacking these here. And then a pillar on each of the corners here. And then we can start outlining the staircase for over here. Because I've got a cool idea for something that I think is going to fit in this tower for a little tiny spiral staircase. It'll be tight, but it'll work out. And for these stairs, I'm going to go ahead and use the refined stone block. I just think that'll look really nice. I might even replace some of the other stairs with the refined stone block. And then to start this out, I'm going to go ahead and kind of place it in like that, maybe. And then we're going to go ahead and bring it, let's see here. Let's bring it up and then up again and up again, something like this. And I want this all to be 3 blocks wide. And then filling that in and filling that in, just like so. And then same thing over here, I'm gonna bring up and then up one again. So that comes out by 3 blocks, and then filling in that one, just like that. Yeah, I think something like that. And then up over here, and then all the way up here. And that one can just continue all the way across. Something like this, I think. And then another little thing like that. Yeah, there we go. So I'm pretty happy with that. We can come around. It's plenty high enough. We can fit through. If I zoom all the way into my character here, you can see even with the hat on, I'm not bumping my head at all. Fits through nice and snug, but plenty spacious. 3 blocks wide for the stairs, just like all the other stairs in the building. And then it basically will go across to the second level, right over here. So we can have a little platform, and then another floor right here, which I'll go ahead and fill in soon. And then we'll essentially just repeat that same stair pattern up one more time to get to the last level of the tower here. So it'll be like 2 little flights of stairs. The other nice thing here is we could go ahead and take the red marble column here. Let's try it right there. There we go, yeah, so that pillar is dead center. Now we could even take the refined stone again and just fill in like even that block right there. So this little column in the middle can continue all the way up the stairs. We could even have like a little chest behind them here. And then you can climb up and get to the multiple levels. So we'll essentially just repeat this as well as this. I'll just go ahead and fill in a floor and then build all of this up by 8 blocks taller, or essentially another blueprint taller, and get back with you soon. Alright, here we go. So I've gone ahead and repeated the staircase and built the entire thing up by 8 more blocks. You can see I've just gone ahead and blocked out some windows as well. This is the very top level, which I've also gone ahead and extended by another 8 blocks tall. Just blocked out a few windows on both sides. I'm not sure the exact placements of them yet. I may change some things around, but I like them for now at least. And then this top of the tower is 6 blocks high. So 6 blocks high and then 8 blocks high after the landing here. So yeah, you can come down here into that room, come all the way down, you go into the flame altar room, and then obviously all the way down and outside kind of a thing. So I think it's looking really good. That's how it's looking from the bottom right now. Looks quite strange. You know, it looks kind of like a tower, or like more of a fortress rather than a cozy forest house. But that's kind of more because it's very squared off and blocked in at the moment. So something I wanted to start working on was sort of creating a brace for this secondary tower here to just look really nice. So what I was thinking of doing was taking my limestone block and maybe coming down, I don't know, by 4 blocks like that, I just kind of want to start creating like a neat brace that sort of comes out and holds that tower. Not sure exactly how it could look yet, but maybe at least all the way to the middle of the tower. I don't know. That's already starting to look way better, like it's a lot more tied in and everything. And then I can definitely kind of make everything wider. Maybe something on both sides of it, kind of a thing. And then I could even go with the rough stone, just to sort of continue this brace out a bit and make it look kind of cool there. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe something like that. Yeah, it kind of almost looks like earth that's holding it, and I could even take the rough stone and sort of build up around the house a bit, along with even some terrain blocks or something. Could look really, really cool. Just to sort of make it feel like it's in a rock or something. I guess that's more the look I'm trying to go for. That would be really cool. Yeah, I don't know, something like that. I think it's starting to come along a bit. And then it could even sort of taper down, so we could like do something like this, just to sort of, I don't know, yeah, accentuate the fantasy feel, make it feel like it's on a rock. So I'll keep messing with it there, but I think with that said, I want to start getting the pointy roofs on both of the towers, because I think that's going to be the next stage into making it look really, really nice and more finished. And for the tower roofs here, I've just gone ahead and added some little jumping platforms or scaffolding here to help me out. And it's same as with the steep roof there. I'm going to use the same concept by doing the straw roof block for a full outline of the roof. And I actually want it to be, I'll go around the roof once like that and then once again. So it'll come like 2 blocks out from the edge in the case of this roof here. And I'm just going to continue layering it up. So basically like up by 1, and then, over by 1, and then up by 2, over by 1, up by 2, essentially creating the steep roof, but in a rounded fashion this time, instead of in a straight fashion. So it's a very similar concept, and I know it's skipping ahead a little, so it might be a little hard to follow along with, but this video would be crazy long if I did it all in depth. But I would be open to doing a tutorial on rounded roofs if that's of interest. So of course, just let me know in the comments. And with that said, I'll just keep kind of blocking this out, 1 block at a time, going all the way around it, until it looks nice. I might do lots of tweaks as I start building it and everything. But the whole reason I did these towers as an odd number of blocks instead of even was so the whole roof could meet in a nice point at the top. Yeah, I think that's looking really, really nice. Especially if we kind of zoom out from it and everything. I'm liking that pointy roof a lot. Maybe a few more little tweaks to be done here and there. But overall, it's really looking good. So with that, I'll just do something similar for the small roof here. And just bring it right up into a little point. The point will probably be about halfway up the way of the point of this bigger roof. And then we'll see how it looks without the scaffolding from the bottom as well. Okay, so here we go. This is what the pointy roofs look like from standing a little ways back here. And you'll notice I've gone ahead and just filled in some of the windows with the iron windows there. And then also gone ahead and taken some of the red marble blocks there and done some cool little texturing and outlines. So I have a couple rings around the towers there, which I think looks really cool. Also just kind of developing a little bit more of the landscape. I went ahead and just put a little stairway up here with some of the stone and limestone there. And just a tiny little deck off the front that's 4 blocks wide. And just a couple pillars in the corners there. So sort of just spicing it up a little more, making it look a little more earthy. And I know I skipped ahead a little bit, but it's pretty straightforward. Hopefully y'all can kind of follow along with what I did there. Just being really creative in no particular order with where I put things. Done some of the little window panes as railings there for the little passages between the stairwell and the rooms here. And also just outlined some of these windows with the roof block again, with the stone shingle roof block. because for those of you who remember, that's what we used on the Hobbit hole front. So I wanted some of it to match. You can see there. And then I also replaced the rough flintstone block with that stone shingle roof block up here on the loft roof portion there, which I think just looks really nice. Adds more of a roundness to the windows and makes this build match the Hobbit hole quite a bit more. So with all of that said, I want to start doing a little bit of decoration, I think. We'll go ahead and put a chimney and fireplace in this area. I've done so many chimneys and fireplaces. I'm going to do something similar, so just check out my other videos if you want to see more in detail about that. And I went over interior decorating in much greater detail for part 1, the Hobbit house build here. So go check that out if you want some more of that. But yeah, with that, I think, like I said, I'm going to turn this bottom section into like a library, study, cozy area where you can kind of come up a pathway up, right up here, go into the door and have like a nice little cozy area to read. And then come up here, we've got the main room, which I'm going to deck out. And then the loft, which will become a bedroom. And then the flame altar room, I might put some storage or, you know, paintings or things in here. And then, yeah, these 2 rooms, maybe one could be for the alchemist and one could be for Alden Crawley, the new NPC that we got with the Hollow Halls update. Okay, here is the finished build. I've gone ahead and done some interior decoration as well as just finishing up some of the last little bits and final touches to the exterior. So without further ado, let me take you on a little tour of the finished build. So basically, if you start down in the Hobbit hole from last time, you can head right up here. And this is sort of the little front porch here with the door into there. And then if we just go into here, we've got the big library first off, which looks amazing. I just wanted a nice cozy space for reading and research and everything, maybe for some biology or something if it's in the forest. And then yeah, we can head right down into the Hobbit hole with those little stairs. Continuing up here, we have sort of the little dining room, I guess, more of just the living room. It's not really a kitchen. The main facilities and things are down in the Hobbit hole. But that's how the fireplace turned out from the inside. And we'll go to the outside to take a look at everything in more detail as well here soon. Then we then have a big round door up front here. And this just goes out onto the little deck where I've just used some of the fence pieces to create a little railing and just kind of phase them into the deck by 1 block just to sort of create that look. So that's basically how that works. I've kind of phased this base of it in with some stone and limestone into the hill here, just with some more decorations, some benches. Here's what it looks like from the back side there. And again, there's that chimney. Put some vines and things, did a couple little shrubs and plantings. So I just think it looks really nice. It's very cozy. It's small, but big enough to kind of fit some extra goodies aside from what's already in the Hobbit hole down there. So then, yeah, I've got some storage up there. We head up into the loft, and here is the bedroom. Nothing fancy, but nice and simple and cozy. Head into the flame altar room, and I've just put some storage, like I said, and this is mainly just the spot where you spawn in at. And then we can go across here, hidden some chests behind the stairs there. And going up the stairs, we have the alchemist's room here in the tower, which again is very simple, but serves the purpose well. And then all the way up at the very top, we have Alden Crawley, the collector's room here. So I've used some of the new green, I think it was the ectoplasm blocks there to make that greenish glow, and then hung the chandelier at the top. So some trophies and things from the Cyclops, and I think the room fits the vibe well. And then yeah, you've got the windows up here to be able to look out in all directions here, to be able to see from afar. And then each little balcony here of these little walkways in between the staircase and the tower rooms. So all in all, I think it turned out really nice. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I know it was definitely a longer video and a bit more unplanned, but I do get lots of comments of people liking my thought process behind how I go about building things. So hopefully this was enjoyable. Huge shout out again to all of my channel members and supporters. Be sure to join the Discord server through the link in the description. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.